I teach adults, I teach teens. We're going to go through one of our master classes. So the first thing I need you to do is master the steering wheel. When you get into a car, you need to drive confidently. What does this mean? You need to have your hands at 7 and 5, or 10 and 2, or 9 and 3. It really depends on what is comfortable for you. We all learn differently. You're going to learn from me watching all my videos. You're going to learn from your mom watching her drive to pick you up, to take you to school. You can learn from your dad who picks you up from school and takes you to football practice or soccer. You're going to learn from your auntie, from your uncle. Thank you. We all learn from each other. So you need to be a sponge and watch everything. You can also learn playing video games. Hey, I understand. My dad is going also too. So we both share that. And his birthday is this month. Next, number 2, be road ready. Essential driving skills. You want to prepare for the elements. You want to make sure your car has a half a tank of gas. You want to make sure your car can start in the morning. You want to make sure that your car is road worthy. We want to prepare you. Yes, you got to practice with your permit. And during that permit phase, you can look at my videos. I can give you some coaching points. You can find out if you're really prepared to take your test. And that is so important. Next, start your engines, driving with the basics. Most cars have a push to start. You'll put your foot on the brake and you'll push the button. Also, some cars have a key. And then you'll put the key in the ignition, you'll put your foot on the brake, and you will twist the key forward to get the car moving. Man, I'm really overthrowing it. That's why I totally understand. And I'm glad you're here. We can talk. We can have a conversation. That's what building this community is about. Next, drive smart. Learn good techniques. Stay in the middle lane. If you want to drive a little slower, go to the right lane. The middle lane offers you vision. You can see left. Good morning, Devin. Hey, how are you? Hey, Jamaica, how are you? How things going? We're talking about the beginning driver. Don't overthink it. Keep it simple. I told you guys I would go live around 10:15, and I just did it. I hooked up everything. I'm going live, and I just want to show you guys love and care. You're my true community. You support me. I want to acknowledge you, appreciate you, and just respect you. And then I'm going to send you guys, I'm going to email you guys some guides, some ebooks, and because you appreciate me. Next, behind the wheel mastery guide, keep good space. You don't want to tailgate cars. If you tailgate cars, someone stops really fast, you're going to rear end them. Thank you for the hearts. Next, difficulty with clutch control. This is for manual transmissions. You want to be in the right gear. First gear is from 0 to about 10 miles an hour. You push the clutch in. Second gear is from 10 to about 20 miles an hour. Third gear, and so on. So you want to master good clutch control. Okay, thank you for the hearts. Thank you for the love. Means a lot. Next, oversteering or understeering. If you turn the wheel too fast, the car's going to go over the curb. That's very scary for you. Like this morning when I went live, I went into the store. I went over the curb, right? Because I cut it too short. We're all human. We all make mistakes. I'm an instructor. I make mistakes. You make mistakes. You've seen your dad and mom make mistakes. This morning, a woman almost hit me. I was driving on the expressway. She had a Jeep. She didn't look. She came over. She almost literally took out my driver's side door. Some of you were watching. I'm like, whoa, okay? Next, braking too hard. Don't brake too hard. Jerky stops cause discomfort to the passengers, and you will get rear-ended. Let's keep those hearts coming. Let's keep it going. Find the right gear or find the right speed. Whatever speed you're at, you're going to have to adjust your manual transmission. If you have an automatic, it might be 55. It might be 35. It might be 45. We were driving on an expressway. It was a 55 mile per hour zone. We were driving at 35. It was just heavy traffic going into the downtown area. E is from New York, and that's a huge metropolitan area with a lot of people. Let's keep going. If you just came in, this is online driving class for beginners. You have questions, you have comments, you just want to share and talk to the community, we're all here. Accelerating too quickly, losing control on wet pavement. When I drove this morning and I showed you the outside view, there was ice on the road. It is very slippery. We want to take our time. We want to accelerate smoothly. We don't want to hit the gas. That will upset the balance of the car. Misjudging speed. If you misjudge speed going too fast or too slow, you will cause road rage. People will get upset at you, but you want to be safe. If you feel you're going too fast, get over to the right lane. The right lane is for slower moving traffic. Next, difficulty parking. Parking is a skill that's learned. I would do some parking tutorials. I will show you the inside view. You got to be in between the lines. There's stall parking where you go down a parking lot and you make a turn into a stall. You pull in straight, either on the right side or on the left. There's angle parking. You have to go down one way and the spots are to your right. Okay, remember that. If you go the wrong way, the spots will be on your left side and you'll have to turn really hard to get in. Angle parking is for parking traffic is going one way up the aisle, not down the aisle. Okay, let's keep going. Next, finding and struggling with hill starts. Hills are very difficult. You're going to have to push the gas to go up the hill and you're going to have to downshift to go down the hill. I have some really good videos on going down hills, going down curves. If you want me to get those, let me know. I'll post them out there to help you. Over revving your engine. A lot of beginners are in the wrong gear. You should be in fourth gear, you're in second gear. Your motor's at 7,000 RPMs. You're going to float the valves, you're going to drop a valve, you're going to damage your motor. Be in the right gear. And if you're driving an automatic and you're going downhill, you might want to be in a third gear or a second gear, because if you use your brakes too much, you're going to burn those out. Let's keep going. Navigating traffic. This is one of my favorite areas. You got to be able to navigate traffic and understand where it is. In navigating traffic, you're going to be able to merge onto the expressway. I did a zipper merge this morning. And this is where it's actually like a zipper, okay? And make sure they are rested. But yes, you have to get your rest. As you get older, you need less and less sleep. The younger you are, you need more sleep. I'm assuming most of you are 19, 20, 24, 27. Most high school, middle school kids are in school, right? Next, yes, I will get that eye patch video out to you. Is it your left eye or right eye? I need my test. We're going to go over some of the test elements right now. Changing lanes. You got to look over your shoulder. Okay, if I'm making a lane change to left, mirror, turn signal, blind spot. Making a lane change to right, inside mirror, mirror, up for a right turn, over your shoulder. Get used, it's just a quick check. You've got to check your blind spots to look in that area. Also, I have a large blind spot mirror that I'll be showing you guys. You do have to look over your shoulder, chin to the shoulder. Just a quick check to the side, quick check to the side. Navigating roundabouts. Roundabouts can be very scary. I have a video that I posted right now. Yes, I do. I've been tired. I have to drive today after school. I have class tonight. I know. So I got to take care of myself and get hydrated. That is so important. You got to be able to exit the correct way. You've got to be able to take your time and yield to traffic already in the roundabout. If this is giving you value, give it a thumbs up, give some more hearts. Adjusting to heavy traffic. You see me when we drive in rush hour traffic, bumper to bumper to bumper. You've seen me driving in different areas, keeping space, staying to the open lane. You have to be able to do that. The coffee's about a 50-50. I try to have this 1 cup a day, and I do try to stay hydrated, so I'm hydrating right now. Next, dealing with aggressive drivers. Keep your space. There was a white Kia that was tailgating me this morning. keep space. You can only control the space in front of you. If someone is tailgating you, maintain speed. If you have to get over to the right, get over to the right. Stopping suddenly. A lot of beginning drivers stop really fast. You'll get rear-ended. If you get rear-ended, you could have an accident. Keep good speed, keep good space. Dealing with pedestrians. Pedestrians are the most vulnerable road users. They should be crossing at the crosswalk. If there's no crosswalk, they should be crossing at the corners. Pedestrians should be walking against traffic. Bike riders should be riding with the flow of the traffic. That could be on your test. How do you navigate intersections? Running yellow lights is a dangerous habit. Don't run yellow lights. Take your time. When the light turns yellow, it's in the process of turning red. And in some communities, they're very strict on traffic. If you run a yellow light, you're going to get a ticket. And in some areas, they are speed radar enforced, and they have traffic ticket cameras. So I've read a lot of comments from people, you're getting tickets because you're running yellow lights. You want to make sure that you don't run those lights. Next, parallel parking, that's all a struggle for all of us. The sister car does park, you want to line up, you reverse back, you turn your wheel all the way to the right. The rear of the car will go in at a 45. When you're halfway, you turn your wheel back the other way. You want to be about 12 inches from the curb. A lot of people talk 12 inches. What if you're on the curb? You're going to get a ticket. What if you're further away than 12 inches? You're going to get a ticket. You really have to watch how you park. Downtown Detroit, downtown New York, downtown Chicago, downtown Houston, Texas, downtown Los Angeles, California. I'll talk about curves in a minute. The cities make money on metered parking spots. You actually have to put money, a quarter, or some are digital. I did a video going to Metro Detroit, to the auto show. Parking is $25 for 6 hours, 8 hours. You have to know how to parallel park. Let's talk about sharp curves. You want to reduce your speed going in. A lot of beginners go in too fast. The car will literally slide off the road into the ditch. I've been into the ditch before because beginning drivers don't understand the concept of speed. And if you go too fast, you're going to slide off the road. Centrifugal force will pull you off the edge of the road. So go in slow to your approaches. Thank you, Devin. I really appreciate that. It means a lot. Let's keep going. Reversing into a spot. I just talked about that. Misjudging distance will cause you to hit a pole or hit a car. And now you have to deal with, I've just hit your car. And then you're going to have to deal with the police, a police report. Learn how to park. And if you can't park by cars, you're going to have to find another spot. But that means you're going to have to walk 3 blocks, 4 blocks. I've worked in a downtown area before. Driving there sucks. Driving home is 45 minutes. You're tired. You're hungry. You got to use the bathroom. You're almost running out of gas. And then when you get home, hey, honey, can you go get dinner? You're like, oh my God, I'm so exhausted, right? Insurance. Let's talk about insurance. Thank you. Insurance costs. If you're under 24, insurance is going to be very high. If you're over 24, the cost will be produced. In New York, New Jersey, California, they have some very high rates because your car could get stolen, it could get damaged, it could get vandalized. If you live outside of the city in an urban fringe area, less likelihood of your car getting stolen, getting vandalized, getting damaged, your rates will be lower. And if you have a good driving record and no tickets, you'll get a lower rate. Also, they may run your credit, okay? So you want to try not to get tickets. Parking tickets won't affect you, but you do not want to try to get speeding tickets. Depends on, thank you. If you have a grandma minivan, your rates are going to be lower. If you have a Cybertruck, your rates are going to be high. I'm just using 2 extreme examples. But many Americans are driving cars that are 10 years old, 5 years old. Over time, you can drop the coverage, okay? Also, then make sure that the radio's not loud. The radio can't be a big distraction. Allow mufflers. You have to be balanced. Don't think the government is trying to take your rights, but you want to be smart. out there on the road. Parking, exiting a parking spot, you've got to turn on your blinker, you've got to look over your shoulder. Don't assume because you could door a bicyclist, you could hit someone. Let's talk about this. Let's keep going. Things are going good. Got questions put in. We have questions about insurance. Next, misjudging space, parking too close to another vehicle. When people back up, they'll just back into your vehicle. Okay? I like to leave space because we all are under assumption I'm going to park out on the street, but then your car is going to be pushed out of the way. I thought I had some model cars in here, but I don't. Your car is going to be pushed out of the way. Let's pretend this is your car. And then when you come out of work, your car could be pushed to an angle or pushed to the right or pushed down. You should be parking 12 inches or less. Let's just pretend this is a car. You should be parking 12 inches or less from the curb. If you're on the curb, you're going to get a ticket. If you're out past 12 inches, your car will get hit. We've all seen the videos, the dash cam videos, delivery trucks, garbage trucks, and I'm not hating on delivery trucks and garbage trucks. They all do a job. But you shouldn't park by a corner either. It's very dangerous. Next, let's keep going. I'm just pulling out some things right now. A lot of people drive with Crocs. Don't drive with Crocs. I know, you're laughing. Don't drive with Crocs. You want to have your foot completely covered. Also, let's talk about this. You want to use the ball of your foot, not the tip. A lot of beginning drivers, when they're trying to stop, and I'm going to show you this. Let's pretend this is the brake. Let's pretend this is the brake, okay? And when you're trying to stop, your foot will slip off. It literally will slip off. You want to use the ball of your foot. This is the ball of your foot, and you want to squeeze the brake. I noticed that. So when you're learning how to drive, if your foot's too low, your car won't stop. If your foot's too high, you're going to hit the metal bar for the driver's side car. So I'm giving you some real tips. I'm really thinking about what you're saying here. So use the ball of your foot. Don't drive in Crocs. Okay, a lot of people do. Okay, so Converse, I'm not sponsored. Converse are good shoes. Any type of tennis shoe is a good shoe. You want a soft shoe where you can feel the gas and brake. You want to pivot your right foot between the gas and brake. Let's pretend this is your left foot. We don't drive, brake, and gas. We put our left foot to the dead pedal. We pivot our foot between the gas and brake. Let the right foot stop and let the car go. Yes, that is correct. You want to keep space. Good points, man. You guys are killing it. I'm going to give you guys a heart and a high five, too. Thank you. Let's talk about misinterpreting signs. Confusing yield signs and stop signs. A lot of beginners confuse yield signs and stop signs. Yield means you slow down. And look, stop means you come to a complete stop. You squeeze your brake and stop. You look left, right, left. If you get a habit of rolling stop signs, one day you're going to get a ticket, and then you're going to say to yourself, oh man, my insurance is going to go up. And most of you are on your parents' insurance unless you're over 24 or 25. There's no hard and fast rule. Usually you're going to graduate high school around 16 or 17. You're going to go to college 17 or 18. You're going to be in there for 4 years, or you're going to go to a trade school, or you're going to go to a community college. You got to know how to drive, okay? Your parents will help you, but you're starting to become a burden. I'm just being real. I'm just going to speak truth. Give me a thumbs up if you understand what I'm saying. Don't cut off other drivers. If you're driving, and let's pretend this is a car, and they use no blinker, and they just cut you off, you're angry. That's very dangerous. And then now you want to road rage because in your car, that's your safe space. Like literally, that's how I look at it. A car is a machine to get you from point A to point B. Many of you are driving from work to school, from school, home. From your home, running stop signs is no different than running a red light, 100%. Both are very dangerous, and I think running the red light, you don't want to be here. You want to end up getting a ticket, causing an accident, hitting a pedestrian. We don't want those problems. Do you really want to get a ticket, get pulled over to the side, the police are pulling you over, you're embarrassed, they're videoing you. What if they pull you out of the car? What if, heaven forbid, he has something you shouldn't have in the car? They're going to pull you out. Sir, do you have anything in the car? Okay, so don't draw attention to yourself. Next, ignoring school zones. If you're driving and you see a yellow triangle, a yellow pentagon that has two people walking, that's the school zone. Slow down. Some school zones are radar enforced, and this means that they are having the radar on each car. And some communities who install radar cameras, they're making hundreds and thousands of dollars because people are speeding through these zones, and then they get emailed a ticket, and then they have to go to court. So I don't want to call it a speed trap, but you have to be aware. Next, missing delineator signs, getting lost due to road work. All cities, Metro Detroit, Los Angeles, California, Houston, Texas, New York, every city has construction. You as a driver, slow down. When you see a construction, you need to squeeze that brake and slow down. You have construction workers. They're putting their lives on the line to protect us. The least we can do is cover the brake, say thank you, and keep it moving. Okay? Next, driving in the rain. I've done some tutorials driving in the rain. You want to reduce your speed. You don't want to jerk the wheel back and forth. You want to drive in the tracks of other cars. Driving in snow, getting stuck in a snowbank. Beginning drivers go too fast. They oversteer their wheel. We spin out. We're in a snowbank. We had to call a tow truck to get us towed out. If you've driven into snow, type in yes. So you want to drive slower in snow. You want to make sure you have at least a half a tank or more of gasoline. You want to have a tow rope. You want to have the proper clothes on, long sleeve shirt, vest, shoes, coat, hat, so you're ready to go in case your car breaks down. Driving in fog, struggling to see the road ahead. We drive with low beam headlights on. We do not drive with high beam headlights on. The high beam headlights will reflect the fog particles back in our eyes so we can't see. Driving on icy roads, losing control of your vehicle. You want to go slow. When I went live this morning, a few of you were on, there were very shiny spots on the road. That is black ice. Slow down. Black ice appears more on bridges, elevated spots, spots where there's no sunlight. You've got to go slow. Next, driving at night. We've done night drives before. It's hard to see. You want to look to the right edge of the road. That's called the edge line or fog line. You want to aim high and look ahead. A lot of you, when I've done the tutorials, I ask you what color's the light. Green, red, yellow. I'm teaching you to look ahead. And if you follow along, it's just like you do in your driver's ed lesson, right? And if you apply what I am doing, it's definitely going to help you. Driving in strong winds. We have a wind advisory for the last 24 hours. Your car can be pushed to the left, pushed to the right. It can go all over the road. So we want to reduce our speed, have a light grip on the wheel. Let's talk about the Stand Store for a moment. We have teamed up with Stand Store. This allows us to do digital driver's education products. There is one Stand Store product online. When this is over, you click on the link in my bio. It'll take you straight to the Stand Store. I have a coaching call tomorrow at 3 o'clock with a client from New York. Very excited. We have one digital ebook up there already, and we're going to put 4 or 5 more out there. So I want you to look at it, and if you like it, go ahead and order it. You'll put your information in. It's safe and secure, and the link does work. I've checked my other socials. I got to fix those. Next, heavy traffic. Don't become overwhelmed. The one thing E was saying, relax. If you're tailgating with a bunch of cars, you are vulnerable to getting rear-ended. We're going to have a multi-car crash. E was with me when I got on to the zipper merge, and then we were stuck in traffic. And then traffic started moving. And then cars were cutting over 2 lanes or 1 lane. You've got to keep good speed, good space. As traffic moves, you move. If traffic slows down, you lift your foot and take your time. Take your time. We're not in a race. We're not late, and it's comfortable. Make sure your lights are working on your car, headlights at 100%. That's the biggest thing I want to say. If you have a burned out headlight or tail light, you're asking you to pull it over by the police because they're doing their job and they want to do their job. That's all I know to say about that. Next, driving in construction zones, you are confused by temporary signs and road detours, so you've got to go slow. Driving on the gravel roads, that's one thing that I learned through teaching driver's education. Gravel's like little ball bearings, and you'll slide all over the road, so you got to go slow. If you go from a paved surface to gravel, you'll spin out left and right. Let's talk about navigation and getting lost. We've all gotten lost before. Misreading navigation directions, taking the wrong exit. I was supposed to go to Wisconsin. I ended up in West Virginia. I'm telling you the truth. Next, missing a turn. If you miss a turn on the road, you go to the next exit. We don't back up on roadways or on the freeway. That's the invitation for getting killed. Confusion with one-way streets. There are a lot of one-way streets in downtown Houston. A lot of one-way streets in downtown Detroit, Michigan. There are a lot of one-way streets in New York. There are a lot of one-way streets in many areas around the country. It pushes traffic quickly out of the downtown area, and it brings traffic into the downtown area. We were driving in Houston, Texas a few years ago. We went through Houston. We were looking at that navigation, and trust me, so you have to learn streets, talking about the dangers of DUI drivers. Anytime you go by a bar, on the weekends, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, those are potential times for drivers who are under the influence, and thank you. So you got to be careful. We almost ran over a young woman. We were driving, doing a lesson with my adult in the car. There were 2 ladies. One ran right across in front of us. I said, "Hey, we almost ran you over." Her friend said, "I told her not to go." They were both drinking. So you want to be aware, and you have to pay attention to your surroundings and to the road. Thank you so much for saying that. Struggling to deal with highway exits. If you go too fast, you're going to pass your exit. You do have to pay attention. You got to watch signs. Over-reliance on GPS. You got to learn cardinal directions. Everyone loves their phone, but you have to know how to drive without looking at a GPS. You actually have to read road signs, and we're going to be talking about this tonight in class. Fear on the highways. Avoid merging on fast-coming traffic. A lot of people have questions, how do I drive on the interstate? What do I do? You want to get up to speed, merge out into the first lane. You're going to be going 60 for a certain number of hours. You're going to be going 70 for a certain number of hours. You're going to be going 75. Nervous around heavy traffic. We all been that way. Cars, trucks. You just need to keep your space. We've been through New York before. We were there about 10 years ago in 2014. We were there about 5 years ago for a basketball tournament, okay? Fear of driving at night, struggling with visibility. A lot of beginning drivers have no clue about driving at night, and they get very confused, and they get very overwhelmed. So you want to have good, clean headlights. And one thing I can say to you, and I'll do a tutorial, we'll go to an auto parts store, I'll suggest some good brand name headlights. One good brand name, and I'm not sponsored, but Sylvania, if you are listening, Sylvania Silver Star headlights. They give you 10 to 15 more light to help you see. Headlights wear out over time. Kind of like your light bulb in your house. Over time, it doesn't shine as bright. So you need to clean those windows. Clean that headlight. Every time you go to get gas, you need to get the squeegee or some paper towels. And I want to see you wiping off the headlight lens, wiping off your front windshield, your side windows, your back windows. That's a deep drive. A lot of you are not driving deep. You just drive from school home, or from home to your job, or from home to your grandmother's. You've got to clean those lights 100%. Next, fear of getting lost. You got to know what direction. You got to reorientate yourself. I remember I first started, I would print out the directions on paper, and I would have them on my phone, and I had a map. Guys, today, there are no paper maps. Some of you don't even know what I'm talking about when I say a paper map, and some of you can't even read a paper map. I used to do a paper map activity in my driver's ed class, and kids literally had to figure out which direction to go. North is up, south is down, west is to the left, east is to the right. If you don't know your cardinal directions, you're lost. Okay? It's true, right? Fear of driving in bad weather. Avoid driving. It's real, man. Like, I'm keeping it real with you. I've been through your journey. And as you drive more, if the weather's bad, you're like, man, I need to leave early. Or I'm going to drive for a couple hours and get off the road, let the storm go by. And then once the storm clears, I'm going to go back, right? True. Because no one's trying to get to their destination in 5 hours, but it's really a 10-hour drive. I know people like that who drive straight through. Okay? Lack of confidence. Second guessing directions. Am I going the right way? It said 375, but I should be on 75. It said 96, but I'm on 69. It said 75. I'm supposed to be going south, but I'm going north. If you're not sure, ask directions. Okay? Ask directions. Let's talk about vehicle maintenance. Okay? With the vehicle maintenance, running out of fuel. I did run out of fuel one time when I was doing a lesson. I was cutting it too short. I was trying to hustle, make this money. My car ran out of gas with a client. I got cussed out by my boss. What are you doing? Get gas. So don't be that kid. I actually ran out coming from Indiana. I was driving my van, towing my car. Exactly. Ask, check. Exactly. My gas gauge was a fourth of a tank. It was near E, but when you're driving, the gas moves around, the fuel sloshes around. I was right by an exit, and the van went, I was like, oh my God. I ran out of gas. I barely made it. Literally, my van was barely rolling up to the gas station. So take my advice, get gas when you're about a fourth of a tank. Don't get below a fourth of a tank. Don't cut it that close because you're going to run out of gas, right? It happened to me twice in my life. Being nervous about driving in heavy traffic. You've got to keep space. Some cars are going 80 and 90. Trust me. We were going through Chicago to Kansas. They were doing 85. I was just doing 70. No one wants to be stranded. 100%. I got stranded. And you don't want to carry a fuel jug in your car with gasoline. That's dangerous. But if you are kind of one of those people cutting it till the last second, I was like that. You're going to run out of gas. You're going to have an accident. You're going to speed. Take it from me. You don't want to do that. Overheating an engine. You can't ignore your dashboard. And tonight we're going to talk about that. Don't ignore your dashboard. If your temperature light goes on, something's going on. You need to clean your radiator. You need to make sure you have proper antifreeze in there. It's a 50-50 mix. Okay? Next, you want to check oil levels. The oil actually cools the motor, the internal parts. Check your oil. I try to get an oil change. Again, you do not want to be stranded because you're going to have random people. Hi, can I help you? No, you can't help me. Okay? And for the guys, don't think a pretty face. Hey, we can help you. Oh, I'm about to get with her. Bro, as soon as you get in the van, whop, 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 they've robbed you, taken your clothes, thrown you out. Ladies, you should never accept a ride for someone you don't know. Yes, you got to check your tire pressure too. A lot of beginners don't do that. Check it when it's cold. It might be 32 pounds, 35 pounds. If you're driving a Tesla, they're at 41 pounds because the car is heavier. Man, we ready to drive. Windshield washer fluid, check that. Make sure it's clear. Make sure your wiper blades are good. Burned out headlights, you're asking for a ticket. You can't see. If you're driving across the country, some areas, as a client was telling me, driving through Arkansas, 2 lanes, totally dark. Really? 2 lanes, totally dark. Okay? Ignoring maintenance schedules. Rotate tires. Check your windshield washer solvent. Check your oil level. Check your fluid levels. A lot of you, when you go to like an amusement park, okay, you got to check your oil. You pull out the dipstick. It's a long metal dipstick, and I'll show you that. There's some little hash marks, and the oil dipstick is really a long aluminum metal piece of metal that goes into the oil pan, and you check your fluid levels. So you got to check that. Most people, do the maintenance and take it to a garage. Ladies and gentlemen, I got to go. I got a client. We can ready to go drive. I want to say thank you. Thank you, E. Thank you, Devin. Thank you all for just learning. And we'll go live tonight. I'll share screens and we can talk about these things again in greater detail. I want to say thank you all so much. And we'll go. Bye, guys. Thank you.